Okay, I know I said that I was going to read more news articles, but I think that the past few days I have to do some other thesis, not an excuse, but for today I will just read an article so that I clock in the exercise. I promise I will start doing news reading soon. I just really need to get the time to sit down and do it because I'm planning to make another video today. Yeah, but okay, I will just oh, this is apt. Discipline comes from having no choice. I think it is something that I feel now. I need to really just get it done. So I'll just read this article for today, and it's a long one, 15 minutes. Let's go. Discipline comes from having no choice. It's 9 p.m. You're on the couch scrolling through your phone. You know you should be working on that project. The one you said was important, but this video is interesting. And you will just watch one more, and you've had a long day anyway. And you can start fresh tomorrow. And that's the gap. It's 6 a.m. Your alarm goes off. You know you should get up and go to the gym. You set this alarm last night when you were motivated, but now you are warm and comfortable, and maybe you could go tomorrow instead. You did work pretty hard yesterday, and one day off won't hurt. And that's the gap. It's Monday morning, you open your laptop, but know exactly what you need to work on. But first, maybe you should just check email real quick, and Twitter is right there, and you will just look for 5 minutes to see what's happening. And this one thread looks interesting, and that's the gap. The moment between knowing what you should do and actually doing it. The dead space where your brain offers you options, where you negotiate with yourself, where you consider alternatives, where you find reasons not to. This gap is what is destroying you. Why the gap kills? You think that the problem is motivation, or discipline, or willpower. It's not. The problem is that every time you enter that gap, you're burning energy. Every single negotiation drains you. Every time you have to decide whether to do the thing you already know you should do, you're using up a finite resource. Willpower isn't unlimited. It drains throughout the day like a battery. This is calling me out. And it is as if you are forcing yourself into the gap multiple times every day. Should I work out? Should I eat this? Should I work out now or later? Should I check my phone? You will run out. By evening, you will be cooked. You will give in, not because you are weak, but because you have been streaming upstream all day. This is why people say it takes 30 days to build a habit. After 30 days, the action becomes automatic. Your brain stops offering options, you just do it. The gap disappears. The problem is 30 days is a long time to fight yourself, and most people don't make it. But you don't have to wait 30 days. You can kill the gap immediately. You can make it impossible for it to exist in the first place. Not by strengthening your willpower, by removing the need for it entirely. You do this by eliminating the decision before your brain gets a chance to negotiate. You make it so that when the moment comes, there is no gap, there are no options, there is only one path forward. Here is how you kill the gap. Environment. The gap needs options to exist. No options, no gap. If you want to stop eating junk food, don't keep junk food in your house. Not in the cupboard, not in the back of the freezer, nowhere. When you're hungry at 11 and feeling weak, there should be no gap. There should be no moment where you stand in front of the pantry thinking, should I eat this? Because there is no this to eat. Only healthy food exists in your world. The gap is dead before it can start. This is the most obvious method and people still don't do it. They keep the cookies around for guests, for special occasions, and then wonder why they keep eating cookies. You are creating gaps for yourself. Every time you see those cookies, you enter the gap. Should I? Maybe just one? I've been good today. That negotiation drains you. Delete TikTok, delete Instagram. Remove any app that makes you doom scroll. Delete your games, sell your TV, sell your gaming setup. Get a dumb phone if you have to. These sound extreme because they are, but they work immediately. There's no gap where you negotiate with yourself about whether to open Instagram. The app doesn't exist. The choice is already made. You can't sleep even if you want to. Understanding. The gap thrives on bullshit, on the lies you tell yourself, on the reasons you manufacture for why this time is different. A glass of wine a day is actually healthy. This person drinks and they're fine, so I'll be fine too. Everyone does it anyway. These aren't facts. They are entry points into bullshit land. That place where you twist reality to justify what you want to do. When you grab on some mystical counterfact and give it absurd weight, compared to all the logical facts that contradict it. Where you negotiate with yourself using fake evidence. Deep understanding kills bullshit land. It makes the gap impossible to enter because the lies stop working. I used to skip brushing my teeth at night constantly. I would be standing there, exhausted, and my brain would immediately start negotiating. Nobody's going to smell your breath. You didn't eat much sugar today. You have never even had a cavity. You can't do it in the morning, just this once won't hurt. That's the gap, and I lived in it every night, sometimes giving in, sometimes forcing myself through it. Then I watched a 2-hour Huberman podcast on oral health. Not a quick video, a deep dive into what actually happens in your mouth overnight. What it does to your gums, your teeth, the bacteria, your overall health. I understood viscerally what skipping meant. Now when I'm exhausted and standing in my bathroom, there is no gap. My brain doesn't even try to negotiate. The lies die. There's no argument to make. I know too much. I just brushed my teeth. Understanding doesn't motivate you, it kills the negotiation entirely. The same thing happened with drinking. I knew alcohol was bad. Everyone knows alcohol is bad. But knowing isn't understanding. In the gap, my brain had plenty of room to work. I'm fine. I'm in control. Everyone drinks. I'm not an alcoholic. Just tonight, just one. I've watched you videos and podcasts about what alcohol does to your body. Reading books is even better because you delve into the subject deeper. Reading Stolen Focus is helpful to stop scrolling. But the most effective I did was watch a video of myself drunk. That was sobering, literally. There was no gap after that, no negotiation about just one drink. I had seen myself, I understood what it actually did to me, not in theory, but in reality. The lies stopped working. This is why understanding is so powerful. When you understand something deeply enough, you stop negotiating with yourself. The negotiation phase is where willpower dies. Remove it by making the reasons so clear that arguing with them feels stupid. You can't bullshit yourself when you actually understand. Schedule tightly. Give yourself a strict schedule and don't deviate from it. When the schedule says work, you work. There is no gap. There's no moment where you check if you feel like it. There is no negotiation about whether now is the right time. The schedule's already decided, you just follow. Now you're going to tell me you have heard every very successful person say they don't follow schedules. Navi Ravikant talks about working on whatever interests him. Mark Anderson says he doesn't plan his day. They work when they feel like it, on what they feel like working on, and they're more successful than you will have ever been. Here's what they don't tell you. They have been working hard for decades. They have internalized the habit of productive work so deeply that it is automatic. They love what they do. The gap doesn't exist for them anymore. When they sit down, they work. There's no negotiation. It's already built in. You haven't built that yet. You are taking advice meant for masters and using it as an excuse to stay undisciplined. I shouldn't force it. I should work when I feel inspired. No, you need the structure first. The freedom comes later, if you even want it by then. Same thing with the person who plays video games at night and is still productive the next day. They've earned that flexibility through years of consistent output. They're not making the decision to be productive every morning. It's already automatic, the gap is dead. But you still have the gap, so you need a schedule. The schedule kills the gap by making the decision in advance. When the time comes, you don't choose, you just do. Focus periods. The gap gets stronger when you don't know how long you will have to resist. If you're trying to be disciplined forever, every moment becomes a negotiation. Maybe I can relax now. Maybe this one time. I've been good for so long. The London Underground figured this out. People were constantly complaining about waiting for trains, so they installed countdown displays showing exactly when the next train would arrive. Complaints dropped. The trains didn't get faster. People just stopped feeling like the wait was endless. 5 minutes with a countdown feels shorter than 5 minutes of not knowing. The same principle applies to your focus. Kill future gaps by creating clear boundaries both daily and over long periods. Daily, periods of deep work first thing in the morning. No phone, no distractions, just work. Then you can do whatever you want the rest of the day. Long term, a week, 3 months, a month. Define a period where the rules are absolute, when there's no flexibility, when you are in monk mode. The power of this is psychological. When you know there's an endpoint, the gap weakens. You're not committing to this intensity forever, you're committing for a defined period, and after that, you can relax. Right now, in the moment, you don't need to give it to the distractions. You know you will have time for it later. The gap tries to open, maybe just 5 minutes on Twitter, but you already have an answer. Not now. After 3 hours, the negotiation dies. And by the time you reach that endpoint, you will probably want to extend it anyway. Because you haven't seen what you are capable of when the gap doesn't exist. I'm annoyed because I feel like this is something that's exposing me. I think that this is something that I can use in my daily life. I think it's pretty good, just reminders to self. For example, I think Instagram is a real problem. Like, I like having Instagram because it's something that I can post, but honestly, it's getting too distracting. So right now, I'm going to log out of my main accounts and my spam just so that I will become focused. Let me show you. Logging out right now. Not now. Log out. Logging out. And I just keep those that matters, which is my F1 podcast account. All right. I think the main account is the most distracting anyways. So sign a contract. Last one. When I started doing periods of monk mode, I would write out a contract. What I was going to do, what I was going to avoid, the exact time period. Then I would sign it on my honor. It sounds ridiculous. It feels ridiculous while you're doing it, but it works. Here's why. Signing something creates a psychological point of no return. You have made a formal commitment, not just to yourself in your head, but on paper, with your signature. When a gap tries to open, when your brain starts negotiating about maybe bending the rules just this once, you have an answer that exists outside of this moment. You already decided, you signed it, the negotiation is over before it starts. This is why contracts exist in the first place, not just for legal reasons. The act of signing makes you more likely to follow through. It's a psychological mechanism. You've publicly committed, even if the only public is you looking at the paper later. Write down your rules, be specific, sign it, put it somewhere you will see it every day. It removes that little bit of wiggle room your brain might try to create. The gap needs room to negotiate. A signed contract takes up that space. And this is a very good article, I think. I feel like it's something that I really relate to and I really want to take action. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not disciplined, but I think that this comes at a very good, it's not timely, I would say it's a reminder to myself to, be disciplined, monk mode, lock in, because I have something to do now. The master's thesis is getting to me. I need to write a master's thesis so that I can graduate. And honestly, the distractions are crazy. Instagram, TikTok, friends, life, things to do. And yeah, it's a very timely time where this reminder comes in. And yeah, 15 minutes is gonna be up. Wouldn't extend it on purpose. But yeah, I will be now I have a sudden motivation to just really start doing the video for learning how to speak like a news anchor. So I'll be doing that now. Let's take some time to do that. See you for the next video.